moral. If you love film, cinema, arts, this is your channel. So don't go anywhere, subscribe and be with me. Okay guys, I want to talk about one of the greatest movie in 2023 and explain the ending. Godzilla Minus One may potentially be one of the closest films in terms of the tone and setting that we get to the original 1954 Godzilla, the film that gave us the first appearance of the King of the Monsters. It follows a Japanese kamikaze pilot who survives the war but is still fighting a war internally even after the dust has settled. And in the midst of his personal turmoil, Godzilla himself shows up to wreak havoc on coastal Japan. Koichi Shikishima is a Japanese kamikaze pilot who lands on an airstrip on a scheduled island in Japan. There, he meets some crew to work on some maintenance on his plane. It is quickly noticed that nothing is wrong. He's just a pilot avoiding death in the final days of World War II period to the Japanese surrender. On the island that night, Godzilla arrives. He's not as big as we know him to be, as his creation is still very early, but he stomps on and rips apart the entire airfield crew, leaving behind two survivors. One is the man in charge, Tachibana, and the other is Shikishima. This incident kicked off his survivors' guilt for making it through the war. The rest of Godzilla Minus One takes place over the span of a few years after the atomic bomb and the rebuild of Japan post World War II, and Shikishima returns home. In order to provide for his little family now, he finds work on a fisherman's boat that is tasked by the government to go destroy all miners left in the ocean during the war. Shikishima joins a crew of men who have not seen what he's seen. So, therefore, when they encounter Godzilla in the ocean, it makes for a thrilling moment that also heightens the trauma that Shikishima is dealing with. With this encounter with the king of the monster, authorities are noticed on land that there is a giant sea creature that is a threat to the country now. Godzilla attacks the section of Tokyo. It is here that Shikishima falls into despair, not taking much care of his child and deciding that he must do what is right inside of him. He must finish his duty as a kamikaze pilot and crash land into Godzilla with a bomb that could destroy him. However, a much safer plan is being used to destroy Godzilla. They plan to drown him through pheromone bubbles. The science of all this is hard to explain. Just go see the movie, please. Okay, guys, thanks for being me. And now I should warn you for some spoilers. Does Shikishima survive? Yes, he does. We learned that he was told about the lever to eject himself from the plane. We see this is a flashback as he sits in the cockpit of plane. Here he is given the speech that he must live and not make a sacrifice for Japan. There is a great theme in the movie about how harsh the Japanese culture has been on people for many years and how sacrifice to one's country is actually a wrong thing. It's on full display here in these acts of bravery against Godzilla, as these men don't want to die, but they want to kill the monster. What happens in the final moments? During the battle with Godzilla, we cut back to Shikishima's home where a caretaker watches Akikyu, if I pronounce it right. She gets a telegram and is shocked while reading it. When Shikishima arrives back on land, he reunites with his daughter, reads the telegram, and learns that Norikyu is actually alive and in hospital. She says to him in the film's final moments, "Is the war inside you finally over?" Then, in the film's final shot, we see the corpse of Godzilla floating in the ocean and it begins to regenerate. Okay, guys, I love this great movie and I really enjoy watching it. What do you think about it? Please tell me.